Let me talk about technique for a second. There's an old saying, I think it was Picasso, someone asked him, how could he paint such masterpieces so quickly, or a famous painter, and he said, it took me 50 years to learn how to paint a masterpiece in 3 hours or something. When you're writing, uh, I couldn't have written even Tumbleweeds, the first book in the series, which is a great book, and I put it against any published book, and I would say it's in the top 10 or 20 of American books that would be published if it was published alone. But it certainly pales compared to the Vincetti brothers. And when you read A Norwegian in the Family, you'll see how the Vincetti brothers pales to A Norwegian in the Family. But the thing is, when you're doing these techniques, you have to unconsciously know that you're gonna, when you're doing, how to put it, I'm doing one chapter, I'm leaving threads open, and I don't know necessarily if I'm going to pick up all of the threads. Some in the book are going to remain unclosed because that's the way life is. So that in itself lends realism. Other threads will be picked up and tied, but in unusual ways. But you have to have an overall vision of the book. When I wrote the Vincetti Brothers, for example, when I've done any of the books since then, I have an A to B. I have a general beginning and a general ending. Sometimes those endings, let's say if I was going to end up in a particular place emotionally or a particular area or with a certain thing, I just know the general way I'm going to end it. The specific of how I write it might be totally different, although it will have the emotional impact or will have the diegetic ending that I desired. And you have to know and be good enough that you're not overly plotting.